What's one decision that you've delayed because of overthinking? And how would your life change if you just pulled it all together and made the choice? In a world that moves fast, overthinking is a luxury that you can afford. It costs you time, energy, and opportunities. And while it may feel like preparation, it isn't. It keeps you stuck, paralyzed with what ifs and fear of imperfection. So if you are anything like me and you understand why the cost of hesitation is often greater than the cost of a wrong decision, then this discussion will equip us both with more tools to better trust our instincts, make faster decisions, and turn wasted energy into forward momentum. Overthinking is like being stuck in quicksand. The more you writhe in that, the deeper you sink. If you don't know, my name is Chad Joshua, and I am working my way towards writing a 100-song catalog. I write songs about populism, freedom, and liberty, and this is my artist channel that I use to promote those songs. In my free time, I like to make these videos to better consider what we might implement in our pursuits in order to be sure that we're applying strategies that see to it we put our best foot forward. The thing about overthinking is it is a paralyzer. It stops you dead in your tracks. It is a full-time job of listing out pros and cons, considering them yet once again, reviewing and revisiting the same questions and concerns without any forward action in any direction at all. It is existing in a fixation on fear that the choice you have to make might be the wrong one, and all of that comes at consequential cost. Waiting for the perfect moment equals lost opportunities. Being indecisive is emotionally exhaustive, and it enables decision fatigue. All of that prolonged inaction erodes at your self-confidence, while none of it eliminates the risk. It only amplifies hesitation. And what kind of a little weak thing do you allow yourself to become that? Like spinning your wheels in the mud. You're getting nowhere, but you're emptying the tank. Just a little while back, I was working on a music video, and in order to keep the cost down, I was sourcing the props that I was going to use and trying to find the most inexpensive option that I could. Now, I did make the video, and it did turn out great, but that process of acquisition, it wasted so much valuable time. You see, there were two options. Each one were basically the same, but one was cheaper by half. The more expensive option had a faster turnaround time, better logistics. I let myself deliberate on which choice that I was going to make entirely too long, and 1 week led to the next, and I still hadn't made any decision. And finally, all of that hesitation about which option to choose, and should I save the money or should I go for the more logistic one, just completely erased all the momentum that I had been building from the song when it was initially released. So finally, I decided to go with the cheaper option because I thought that I could buy more of the product in order to make a bigger splash inside of the video. They were smoke grenades. I was going to use them stylistically throughout the climatic part of the video. But I was completely put off with the fact that it was going to take 14 days or 15 days to be shipped. But the fact that I wouldn't get as much product if I'd gone with the one that had a more timely delivery had left me torn in deliberation for so long. It spoiled all of that valuable inspiration. Until finally I was just down to a point where I didn't have any motivation for it at all, left it at all. It was at that point that I realized the costly mistake of stagnation, and I went ahead and I ordered that product. I could get a lot, but it would take more time to arrive. So every day I just checked to see if maybe I would get lucky with the shipment. I had sent a message and I had asked the people if there was any way that they could hurry anything up at all because it would be helpful for what I was trying to do. And I waited and I waited, and they never sent it. And then finally I contacted them and said, "Where is it?" And they said, "Oh, it didn't clear customs." And I said, "Great." So then all of that time wasted in deliberation, and all of that time then finally making a decision, and not a decision of abundance, but rather a decision of conservation, it ended up that I had to order that more expensive product anyway. So the moral of the story is that's what I should have did immediately the very first day, and I would have kept myself 3 weeks back on the schedule rather than 3 weeks off. And if you're anything like me, you don't have time like that to waste. There are lots of reasons why we might overthink. It could be fear of failure, judgment, some desire to control outcomes, which I think is what I was doing there, or mistaking indecision for preparedness. Truth is, no amount of overthinking guarantees any success, but decisive action does create a clarity that hesitation never will. The best way that we can learn is through action, not with endless deliberation. Overthinking is like standing at a fork in the road, just staying there. It's impossible to see the entire journey until you take that first step. So how about it? What is one area in your life where overthinking has held you back from starting? And what is it that you could achieve if you replaced hesitation with bold, decisive action? Being decisive, it builds momentum and creates opportunities. It strengthens your self-trust by reinforcing your ability to adapt, and it reduces the mental energy that is wasted on what ifs. And how do you apply that? What strategies can you use to see to it that you take action? First, you could make it a process that anytime you have a big decision, you have a time limit set. That way you can start, even if it's small, and build momentum. Setting deadlines for yourself to make the decision limits your ability to overthink. Just don't fall into a crisis of overthinking how much time to give yourself to make a decision, because then we'll fall into a paradox. Taking action moves you closer than too much analysis could ever. Each step forward you take reinforces your ability to make decisions. And when you start seeing mistakes as learning opportunities and not failures, you're not as afraid to step out as you might be otherwise. Progress creates a positive feedback loop that fuels motivation, and any mistake that you do make provides you with valuable insight in how to refine your effort and continue on. Confidence for decision making is like any other confidence. It is like a muscle, and it grows stronger the more that you use it. What is something that you're overthinking, and that if you stopped, made a choice, would lend you more confidence even today? And what would your future look like if you trusted your instincts more and doubted yourself less? Perfectionism and fear of being imperfect create unattainable standards that stall progress. In addition, it shifts focus from growth to unrealistic ideals. And progress comes from action, not perfection. Trusting your instinct frees you from analysis paralysis. Letting go of perfection allows you to focus on what matters moving forward. You have to let all of that go like an undue burden, because as soon as you do, you're lighter and freer to move in a more agile way. So don't be afraid to stop overthinking. Do your best. I'm going to do mine. Keep your head up. I'm going to keep mine up. If you haven't had a chance to hear my new song, you can listen to it here. And we'll talk again soon.